There's a bird on my head. Oh, that's a painting. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. We're going to talk about Flaming Hot Cheetos and how they've snuck through the crack all these years with the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. And is the FDA corrupt? Are they? Tinfoil hat time, folks. Let's get into it. I'm Rob. Joined by my trusty assistant, ChatGPT, tonight, as I had to ask the questions, is the FDA corrupt? Who else are you going to go to? You know? What am I going to do? A Twitter poll? Being banned in Brazil? I'm guessing because Elon Musk didn't pay some bill. That's a funny story that we're not going to talk about. But yeah, I always think Southern California. California is banning Cheetos, Flaming Hot Cheetos, in schools. They're also banning, what else? Oh, that's right. Any fluorescent dyed colored food. So, Flaming Hot Cheetos, Twinkies, and other fluorescent snacks. I'm okay with that. Kids shouldn't be eating fluorescent snacks. As far as I know, my kids don't eat fluorescent snacks. It's kind of disturbing what America allows us to eat. It's kind of sad. I mean, if we had a great healthcare system, then who cares? Go hog wild, right? You just go to the doctor. But if you can't afford the doctor, and you got a serious diet of Cheetos, Flaming Hot Cheetos, and Twinkies, and you're pooping fluorescent colors, we're going to have some issues. So we're going to get into it. We'll wait a minute. Hopefully some folks show up. Maybe I should have labeled this differently. Hog Wild, RTNYC1. I keep saying Hog Wild. I don't know why. NYC1, can you help me come up with a new turn of phrase instead of Hog Wild? I said that last night on the live stream too. I don't know why. I don't know why I keep saying Hog Wild. I don't feel like that's a very New England thing to say. But welcome to the live stream, RTNYC1. I'm Rob. I go live every weekday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And even when America finally catches up to the 22nd century, whatever century we're in, 21st, when we finally go down to a 3-day work week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we finally have the appropriate weekend of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'll still go 5 days a week. I'll still go Monday through Friday. Buck wild. Buck wild, hog wild. We could say boar wild. We could say, hey bud, what's up, blah? We could say deer wild. We could say dog wild. Why is it restricted to buck and hog? Buck bargain. Buck bagism. I like saying buck bagism. Saying that is weird. Buck bagism. Why is it always got to be a hog or buck? Bucks don't really go too wild. I mean, I've seen some of those YouTube videos where they attack the hunter. Hogs definitely go wild. What the hell? What did you walk into, blah? Goat wild? I like that one too. Sheep. Goose wild. You ever seen a goose? Geese go effing nuts. If you encroach on their territory, a geese will attack you. A goose, a gaggle of geese, a flock of geese. Geese will attack. Blah, what did I walk into? We're going to talk about California just signed a bill or have voted to ban chemicals used in both snacks, Flaming Hot Cheetos and Twinkies, in their schools, which I'm all for. I don't think kids, basically they voted to create a bill, which I think still has to be signed by the governor, which will, once they make it into law, it will ban Flaming Hot Cheetos, Twinkies, and what does it say here? And other fluorescent snacks. Just the phrase fluorescent snacks unnerves me. Just the fluorescent, I think of light bulbs. I think of the 90s, maybe our t shirts in the 90s, our color palette from the 90s. But I don't want to think of food when I think of the word fluorescent. My kids love hot Cheetos. It's my fault. Listen, I love hot Cheetos. But I'm going to say this Giggle Crane, RTNYC. Sorry for everybody jumping in now. Me and RTNYC, he got here early, or she got here early, or they got here early. And we were talking about the phrase hog wild. So if me and RTNYC go back and forth, it's because we were thinking of new ways to say hog wild. And he said buck wild. I said, why's it got to be hogs and buck? Geese wild. And he said giggle crane. And I said, giggle crane is hilarious. That's a funny phrase. I don't know if I should sleep. Well, Donut VR. Donut virtual reality. I like the name. Is that what your channel is about? Donut virtual reality? Do you just hunt down donuts? Donut VR, let's be honest. This live stream is for you. We're talking about California banning Flaming Hot Cheetos and fluorescent snacks in schools. Want me to be a mod? Yes, but I don't think I can assign it. I have to go, blah. After this live, will you go leave a comment for me? Because I need your YouTube URL to create mods. California's goat wild. They're geese wild, man. California's geese wild. I lived in California for 10 years. That's where my wife's from, all her family. And I love them. I respect them because stuff like this. Thanks, blah. This ban that is going to go into effect, I'm guessing soon. I'll read some of the story. And again, this is from Politico.com. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe and hit the notification bell. I say hit the notification bell because I tell you I go live 5 days a week. I just can't tell you what time. So if you hit the notification bell, you'll get notified and you can join the chat and join the live because it is much better when you are here. And we talk about everything: news, culture, entertainment, a lot of sarcasm, heavy on the comedy and wannabe comedy. We're funny sometimes. The chat's more funny than I am. I'll be straight up honest with that. That's why I love doing the lives. Just like our TNYC is dropping Giggle Crane. That pic behind you is the dove from up above. I love RTNYC. RTNYC, you better hit that subscribe and notification bell. No, my wife can't watch while she's at work. She's a nurse. She works real hard. I'm a psychic. Oh, cool. Then we got to wrap. So we're talking about California banning any kind of fluorescent snacks in schools. And we talk about any kind of news stuff. I call it newsmentary, news commentary. So if you could hit subscribe, I'm trying to catch up to Philly DeFranco. He's probably the biggest YouTuber that does news stuff. We're the most well-known, and he's got about 7 million subs, and we're on our way. Let's face it, with everybody that's been coming in and who's been subscribing, we're at 1,450 subs or around there. We're going to catch up to him. We're going to catch up to 7 million. I have the faith. I have the belief. And with your help, I thank you for getting us there. Is it because of the colors messing with the kids? It is, blah. And if you're new to the channel and after you hit subscribe and the notification bell, I want you to know that I link all the articles down in the description. So you can read this political article that just dropped a few hours ago. No, 8/29. Wait, is today the 29th? Maybe it dropped last night. 9:54 p.m. Yeah, today's the 30th. So this dropped last night. So state lawmakers on Thursday voted to prohibit California schools from serving food additives used in Flaming Hot Cheetos, Twinkies, and other fluorescent snacks. That should not be a phrase, fluorescent snacks. Fluorescent light bulbs, fluorescent color palettes from the 90s, fluorescent clothing, not fluorescent snacks. I'm totally okay with this ban. They should do it they should just do it federally. The move, backers argue, is necessary to limit the intake of dyes that have been linked to worsened behavioral issues in kids who have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD. California has a responsibility to protect our students from chemicals that harm children and interfere with their ability to learn, Democratic Assembly member Jesse Gabriel, the author of the bill, said in a statement. As a lawmaker, a parent, and someone who struggles with ADHD, I find it unacceptable that we allow schools to serve foods with additives that are linked to hyperactivity and neural behavior harms. Governor Gavin Newsom needs to sign the first in the nation proposal. But fear of a children's uprising did not prevent him from a children's uprising. But fear of a children's uprising did not prevent him from signing a similar bill last year that outlawed the sale of food containing a dye used in Peeps. I remember that. California outlawed the Peeps dye. I think maybe the fluorescent snacks make kids transition to gay. I don't think so. Toxic, but I'm addicted. Well, that's the thing. And like I said, if you join the chat a little later, I said I'm joined by my handy dandy, always at the ready co-host ChatGPT. And this, hold on, let me read another paragraph. An earlier version of this 2023 law would have outlawed titanium dioxide across California, which earned it the title of the Skittles ban on some corners of the internet because it is used to color the candy, though that provision was removed. The old big Skittles throwing their money around, making sure they're not banned. Which I did link some articles down below, which we're going to talk about how in Europe, that ban, they banned that, titanium dioxide. Just so you know, if you're a fan of Skittles, which my kids will never fucking eat Skittles again, they're eating titanium dioxide. That sounds like a Minecraft fucking term. I need some more. I need to go mine some titanium dioxide. It doesn't sound like something that should be in Skittles. Taste the titanium dioxide rainbow. That should be there. Children uprising sounds terrible. It sounds hilarious. I just picture a bunch of little kids with hyperactivity freaking out, screaming. They're like, we're going to the Capitol. We need, with all their little red hot finger dust fingers, Flaming Hot Cheeto finger dust fingers, all with little red finger dust. Why do I keep calling Flaming Hot Cheeto dust mustaches going to the Capitol with little pitchforks that look like Flaming Hot Cheetos on fire. That's actually a hilarious term, a children's uprising. Hoping to quell a children's uprising, Governor Newsom sent out the riot police to shoot non-lethal them. They would have sent riot cops if there was a small children's uprising. So listen, I also linked because, so speaking of my wife lived in Europe. Her family, her dad is high up in the military. So she moved all around Europe, and in Europe, they do not eat the food we eat. In fact, I linked a couple articles down below. One was a article about this dude who made this whole TikTok thing about if you're American, don't eat the Flaming Hot Cheetos in Europe because they're just, he said, like tangy barbecue flavored. They're not fluorescent, and he commented on the color. And then I linked another article down below about all of the different foods Americans eat, long list of food banned in other countries. I linked this down below with a video. And just to rattle off a few, Ritz crackers, Gatorade, Wheat Thins, Frosted Flakes, and Coffee Mate Creamer are just some of the items banned in other countries because of some ingredients they contain. There's a whole ton of them. Pop-Tarts, Mountain Dew, Skittles is in here. I mean, there is a ton of stuff. Like we were talking about the titanium dioxide. Taste the titanium dioxide rainbow in Skittles. Little bastards uprising like South Park. Totally. That is such a funny phrase. Who wrote this article for Political? Blake Jones. I gotta find his Twitter and quote him. Children's uprising. Maybe the funniest fucking 2 words ever used in a news story. Hold on. Governor Gavin Newsom still needs to sign the first in the nation proposal, but fear of a children's uprising did not prevent him from signing a similar bill last year that outlawed the sale of food containing a dye used in Peeps. The fat little bastards got too lazy and played Fortnite. This is totally a fucking article from South Park. But I mean, it's hilarious, but it's also so sad. Because when you think, so what I was mentioning about Chat GPT earlier is that, blah. So what I was mentioning about Chat GPT earlier is that, I'll often reference Chat GPT when I'm looking stuff up or before I come on live, or even my whole mindset was to like always have kind of uh, iPad, something with me so I could look up stuff. That's why if you hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, or if you just spend time watching the videos, once I can get this monetized, I'm gonna put so much money back into this channel because I really want to have access to stuff like an iPad or just the internet wherever I go, or some kind of other tool. How do I not laugh reading that? I'm laughing inside. Um, because I think Chat GPT can be a powerful tool while you're doing lives or doing a show or something like that. And tonight I had to go to Chat GPT and I had to ask Chat. My first question was, is the FDA corrupt? And ChatGPT said the question of whether the FDA is corrupt is complex and often depends on the perspective of the person asking. Really, ChatGPT? Like what? If I'm in the FDA, I guess it's not corrupt, but for everybody else, and that's basically what it says. Um, it says points of the criticism that it's corrupt. Number one, revolving door. Critics often point to the revolving door phenomenon, where individuals move between roles in the FDA and the industries it regulates, raising concerns about potential conflicts of interest. Well, no, that's the definition of a conflict of interest. The entire country should ban Michael Bolton and Kenny G. Listen, man, at least that music isn't that bad for your health, you know? It's gonna calm, a Kenny G soundtrack is gonna calm these kids while they're all coming off their sugar rush or fluorescent chemical rush. That's terrifying. I hate that they're banning fluorescent foods. And to think that a state has to do that means there's a lot of states that are like, we don't give a shit. Go ahead and eat some neon food. Go ahead. It's probably good for you. And if not, don't worry. You won't be able to afford the healthcare for it anyways. Um, so then it says points defending the FDA, and it goes to regulatory success, complex mandates, transparency, all this, BS stuff. All this barking like, oh, they've overseen the approval of many life-saving drugs. And I was like, ChatGPT, you don't understand what I'm asking. My bad. I wasn't clear enough. I said, what about the FDA allowing food ingredients banned in European countries? So then it goes, oh, okay. Now I get what you're talking about. It says reasons for discrepancies in banned ingredients. It says most European countries often apply the precautionary principle more strictly, meaning they ban or restrict substances if there is any potential risk, even if scientific evidence is not conclusive. So that means the EU, the European Union, is like, well, if this could hurt the kids, we're not going to allow it. Which, when it comes to food and it comes to your life, I would lean on that side, right? Like lead paint, they allowed lead paint forever. And then they realized, oh shit, that's messing people up. Like, let's lean on the side of caution. Who cares if your business doesn't make $1 billion? Like, let's protect the kids. But then it gets into more interesting things. Like one of the points ChatGPT made about why the EU bans fluorescent dyes in the foods and the US doesn't is it says the industry influence and lobbying. The US food industry is a powerful lobby. There is concern that lobbying efforts might influence the FDA's decisions. Might? ChatGPT, whose side are you on here? Influencing how each region approaches food safely. Oh, wait, no. Then it says, might influence, this could lead to the FDA being more lenient on certain food additives compared to European regulators. The FDA might, and then it says, economic considerations, might weigh the economic impact of banning an ingredient more heavily than European regulators. This includes the potential cost to businesses and the impact on the availability of certain food products. So those go hand in hand, lobbying and the impact on business. That's the difference. So in my opinion, the FDA is 100% corrupt, because if you're here to regulate food and drugs as a service to the people, we the people, created that division, created that for safety for us, to protect us from big business. And they are clearly saying that they're going to weigh the economic impact of banning an ingredient more heavily than European regulators, because they want to protect the potential cost for businesses. Like, that's not why the FDA exists. The FDA exists to make sure businesses aren't poisoning us with fluorescent dyes. So this, it's fascinating. I would never say take ChatGPT at its word, but read it between the lines. Gather a few different sources, ask it a few different questions, and you might be able to come to a pretty healthy conclusion here. Examples of ingredients banned in Europe but allowed in the US. This is another thing ChatGPT gave me. Brominated vegetable oil, BVO, banned in the UE due to concerns over its potential health effects, including neurotoxicity and reproductive issues. Allowed in the US. The FDA allows BVO in certain soft drinks and sports drinks, although some companies have voluntarily removed it due to its public pressure. The FDA is fucking corrupt. The FDA does not protect us. They don't do their job. They're more concerned about making sure businesses can get paid. And why? Because the first answer ChatGPT gave me when I said, is the FDA corrupt? They said, well, there's some concern. Number one, concerns of a revolving door, meaning people that work at the FDA used to work at Gatorade, used to work for Ritz or Mondelez or whatever, these huge mega corporations that own all of the different brands. They used to work at them, and now they go and make the laws that the companies have to abide by. So that revolving door is totally effed. Then it talks about potassium bromate and certain food dyes. It's interesting that in Europe, artificial food colorings like yellow number 5, tartrazine, and red number 40 are banned in the EU due to concerns about hyperactivity in children. In the US, these dyes are still widely used, although there's a growing concern among consumers and their safety. Well, and that's the thing. If we allow it, if we don't speak up, if we're okay with it, they'll keep poisoning us. And the thing that sucks is if you go to the food store, there isn't a big variety. If you're looking at the labels and you're looking for something without yellow, what is it? Which one is this? Hold on. What did it say? Yellow number, which yellow? Yellow number 5 or red number 40? That's the other thing that freaks me out. Where's yellow number 1 through 4? And red number 1 through 39? Like, did those ones kill people? And they were like, all right, 40 is safe. We're at 40. Red number 40 is okay. Like, these things concern me. But if you try to check your food for that, because I do for my kids, I do not want them drinking all this crap. I was pretty proud the other day when my daughter was like, our last field trip last year, the school was serving everyone Coke. And she was like, and I didn't drink it. And I don't think she's ever had a Coke. And she was like, I didn't want it. And it kind of freaked me out. What does it taste like? And what is it? And I was like, I'm pretty proud as a parent right now. But it just sucks because people think in America there's this freedom and the free market creates all this stuff. But in truth, everything in that supermarket's owned by like 5 companies. And if you're trying to look for things without these ingredients, good luck. And if you're trying to look for variety, what's your variety in sports drinks? Gatorade, Powerade, and Prime? You know what I mean? Like, there's no free market. There's no freedom of choice. It's all an illusion, man. That's good, though. You're on. Oh, thank you, Blah. I was really proud of myself for that one, And she just brought that up out of the blue during the summer. We've let her have Fanta, though. Once. We bought 1 2-liter once. because she tried it or she saw it or something. So we just let her have Fanta. That was like the one soda, and she was like, "This is amazing," and I was like, "Yeah, we'll never buy that again." Um, I do let her drink birch beer. That's the one soda. If you're not from New England, that might sound like alcohol or something. Brown number two, yellow number one. But birch beer is something that, like, I don't know. I don't even know if you know what birch beer is. You know, birch trees. I'm guessing it's derived from that bark, or was at one point. It's definitely not now. It's probably all yellow number five, yellow number one, brown number two. Um, but birch beer is like a soda, and it's got a very unique floral arboretum taste. Uh, I'll Google it. Yeah, birch beer, Polar sodas. Polar sodas used to be like a local Worcester company here in Massachusetts, and then they got bought out. And I try not to buy them anymore. Either that, or I'll buy what I do let the kids have. What is it? Reed's organic ginger ale, when I can afford it. It's so expensive, but it's like all natural sugar cane, ginger, carbonated water. So I'll let them drink ginger ale, and if I can afford it, I get them the good kind. The stuff, again, I check. I'm the guy that's checking ingredients at the fucking grocery store. Sorry, but this stuff really does concern me. It's kind of terrifying that even ChatGPT can admit the FDA is corrupt as F. Um, what other? Oh, so I put this report from, what is this? California Office of Environmental Health Hazard Assessment. And this is a report titled "Report Links Synthetic Food Dyes to Hyperactivity and Other Neural Behaviors Effects in Children." So if you're interested in more of this, or you have kids and you're concerned about them, or going to have kids and want to, be aware of what's out there in the food market here in America, I would highly suggest reading this report. It talks about the links to ADHD and the fluorescent foods. So we choose the bad shit, Yep. The, Listen, it's so expensive to buy good food. It's just like if you live, so when I used to live in a certain area, I would go to the grocery store and it would be horrible food. Like all the choices would be bad. Like the fruit didn't look good, nothing. So I would drive 20 minutes to a really wealthy part of town, and I would go into their supermarket, and it would look like I walked into the fucking Valley of Eden or something. It looked like I walked into heaven. Like what is it? The Garden of Eden, not Valley, sorry. Looked like I walked into the Garden of Eden with the forbidden tree, and the apples look so like tempting. Like I was like, I get why Eve ate that apple. Like this is temptation at its best. And I would literally have to drive 20 minutes to this really wealthy town and go food shopping there. And I would go food shopping there because the choices were better, the food was better, they had way more diverse selection. So it really is true, like if you live in a good zip code or you make more money, you're going to be healthier in America. That's just how it goes. What's up, War Daddy? Good to see you, man. Terry Charms. Hey, what's up? Good to see you. You guys are coming in at the end because we discussed a lot. Just to recap, last night, this article broke on Political. Again, hit subscribe and hit the notification bell. I put the links in the description, but we're talking about California cracking down on Flaming Hot Cheetos and Twinkies and other fluorescent snacks. Like I've said, one way you would not want to describe your snacks are fluorescent. You can use fluorescent to describe the color palette of the 90s, light bulbs, not food, okay? But here, Sacramento, California, state lawmakers on Thursday voted to prohibit California schools from serving food alternatives used in Flaming Hot Cheetos, Twinkies, and other fluorescent snacks. It's necessary, they're saying, to limit the intake of dyes that have been linked to worsened behavioral issues in kids who have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So I think it's a brilliant move. I think America should be doing this, not just California. Thank God they're paving the way. Shouldn't be sold in schools. It shouldn't be sold in stores. I also was linking articles down below about how in the EU, Flaming Hot Cheetos are not fluorescent. There was a whole TikTok story or TikTok creator who traveled to the EU, and I forget what country, but he said, "Do not eat the Flaming Hot Cheetos here. They don't even look right. They taste like tangy barbecue, and it's because Skittles, Ritz crackers, Frosted Flakes, Gatorade, Flaming Hot Cheetos, Twinkies, all that stuff in the EU is banned." Um, and if they do make it, like the Flaming Hot Cheetos they can't use the same ingredients they use in America, because in America they use fluorescent chemicals. Um, and California did this a while ago too with the Peeps. They banned the sale of a food dye used in Peeps. And an earlier version of the 2023 law would have outlawed titanium dioxide across California, which earned it the title of the Skittles ban, because titanium dioxide is how they color the Skittle candy. Taste the titanium dioxide instead of the rainbow. Um, and it's sad, man, because they do it. My bad, bro. I'm at work. Oh, man, if you're at work, don't even sweat it, War Daddy. Good to see you, though. Good for you to stop in. We planted a whole garden and have apple trees and stuff. Yeah, listen, until we moved, we had, at my house, we got blackberry. Uh, we had a small apple tree, 3-year-old, that we had to leave. But we have blackberry, strawberry, blueberry, raspberry. I try to grow as much stuff as we can, as allowed here in New England. You know, we have a shortened grow season. Um, but man, grow your own food. It tastes so much better too. I'm telling you, it's so much better. And then we started talking about how, depending on your zip code, you know, or your tax bracket, that will really determine on how well you eat, you know, because it's expensive. That's what Blah was talking about, that it is very expensive to buy. Because I was saying my kids have never had Coca Cola, they never drank like soda. But I've given them Fanta, or my daughter had Fanta once, and she'll drink birch beer, which is a New England thing. It's not a beer, it's a soda. Uh, but what I try to do, what I will let them drink, or her, one of my daughters, one of them I'll let her drink ginger ale. And when I can afford it, this is how me and Blah got on the topic of being able to afford it. Your zip code and tax bracket really determines how healthy you are. When I can afford it, I'll get I think it's Reed's Organic Ginger Ale. And if you look at the ingredients, it's like cane sugar, carbonated water, and ginger. It's real basic. It's real good. It definitely don't taste like the other stuff. But again, that's like a special treat. Maybe once a month I can afford that. Maybe, you know? And it sucks because if you need ginger ale, because we'll also give it to the kids if they get an upset stomach or something. Um, Man, it just sucks because you can't afford. It's so crazy. You can't afford natural food, so you have to buy this synthetic fluorescent chemical that tastes like food because these companies just want to make money off us. And what I was like, Dolly, what's up? It's cheap and easy to make ginger ale. Ooh, Dolly, please, after this, leave in the comments a recipe to make ginger ale, because I will 100% do that. I love making my own stuff. I eat very healthy. Good. My ass, why I moved here? We had to. Um, the place we were renting from, it's a national corporation. They told it after 7 years, they told us to get out. They just kicked us out. So this was not a choice. But it's okay. It's okay. Um, but Dolly, I'm really interested in the ginger ale thing. I make I make a radical uh, cranberry. What is it? Cranberry sauce. And I used to do some jarring and stuff like that. Kombucha. I don't think my kids will like kombucha. I don't like kombucha, but that's cool that you make it. Well, the oldest does. But man, I really want to know your ginger ale recipe. And can I put some mango in it? Right now we got dried mango that is so good that I was thinking like, yo, if I could somehow blend this and put it into a ginger ale and have a mango ginger ale. Damn, I wish I could make my own food. Um, Shit, what was I talking about? I'm just gonna go into something. Um, so yeah. Oh, and then I was also talking about how I brought up ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT, "Is the FDA corrupt?" And the first point, Well, it tried to like take ChatGPT always does this. If you've ever used the AI stuff, they're always like trying to give you two sides of it, and you're like, who the fuck are you working for? Google? Like, who are you working for? ChatGPT? The corporate interests, or are you for the people? Come on, we need to know, robot. And it tries to like give you this like two sides of everything, and it's like, well, it depends on where you're at, or what did it say? What did you say, ChatGPT? I should fucking unplug you, acting like this. Said the question of whether the FDA is corrupt is complex and depends on the perspective of the person asking. And I said, what do you mean the perspective? Like if you work at the FDA, if you work at the huge Mondelez corporation that makes Gatorade or whatever, like whose perspective? The FDA only has one purpose: to protect the people. And ChatGPT actually finally got down to the nitty gritty, but its first answer was saying critics often point to the revolving door phenomenon, where individuals move between roles in the FDA and the industry it regulates, raising concerns about potential conflicts of interest, which I say, and I should, man, I got to teach this ChatGPT. We need a revolutionary ChatGPT. That's what we need. That's what I want to develop. One where it doesn't consider the points of big business. And it's like, because it says raising concerns about the potential conflicts of interest. I'm like, if the FDA has people working at it that are for the big business and worked at the big business, that is the conflict of interest. That's the definition of conflict of interest. It shouldn't be people who work at Gatorade regulating Gatorade. You can't police, the police can't police the police. But then I said, okay, ChatGPT, what about the FDA allowing food ingredients banned in European countries? And then they went into, well, the US has this thing called lobbying, and it's very powerful. And the FDA might weigh the economic impact of banning an ingredient more heavily than European regulators because of the potential cost to businesses. Which the FDA was created to protect the people and regulate foods and drugs. They're not supposed to care about business. They are not here to ensure businesses don't vote, businesses don't create the economy. It's the people who live, the citizens who live in these countries that do. So it's just hilarious that while trying to speak out of both sides of its robotic mouth, ChatGPT exposed itself and exposed the FDA for being a corrupt thing. I'm heading off to left a comment to be a mod next time. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Homemade kombucha is way better and less than 25%. Ooh, interesting. You can with seltzer. Good to know. Yeah, so I just wanted to recap that. We've also raised our own chickens in the city for 6 years. I want to do that, but chickens stink, man. You need some space. Like, well, actually, we couldn't do it here because it's like we're wall to wall with people, and the backyard is all shared, so we couldn't do it here. But I would love to do that because I've heard the eggs. Well, no, I know my buddy did it, and the eggs were amazing, and you get a ton of them. And the price of eggs, I mean, shit, you save you some money. So listen, I highly encourage, if you have kids, if you care about kids, if you care about the FDA fucking just needing to do its job, you have to set it up properly. I believe that. I believe that. Then I highly suggest you read some of these articles I linked down below. Dolly Blah, Terry Charms. Where's War Daddy? Is he still here? Yeah, he might be at work. War Daddy and RTNYC. Thank you guys for stopping by. It's always good to see you guys. It's not bad if you clean it and keep it dry. Yeah. I know when you go to clean it though. But the cool thing is isn't the chicken manure like an excellent additive for soil, which I believe it is. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure that the chicken poop is great for the soil, which, you know, you deal with the smell if your plants are awesome. My kids won't eat mac and cheese. That's awesome. My kids like the Annie's, but then Annie's got bought out. It's like any of these small little mom and pop things that start to poke their heads out and get featured at Target, some huge corporation comes in and swoops them up. It sucks, man. I mean, it's great for Annie. You know, she's probably getting paid, living on a yacht. with their little pet bunny. Chicken poop for what? For Maggie. Chicken poop, I think, works as a great fertilizer, natural fertilizer. I believe. I was asking Dolly. I'm guessing Dolly would know, but I'm almost pretty sure you can use chicken poop for it. You compost it in the garden. Yeah. For what food? Whatever. Steak. No, I'm just kidding. Sprinkle a little on your steak. It's chef's kiss. All right. I gotta wrap this one up. But thank you guys. And Maggie, thank you for dropping in. You missed it. We were talking about how California is banning fluorescent foods, Flaming Hot Cheetos, Twinkies in their school system, which I'm all for. Oh, you should listen. There are great YouTubers who will teach you everything you need to know about composting and growing gardens. It's very simple to do. What I always suggest people do is start small, grow some sunflowers. If you like sunflower seeds, very easy to grow. Sunflowers are ruthless and relentless. They'll grow in any condition. And that's like how I started my wife getting really into gardening, because once you see a sunflower grow, 10 feet tall or whatever, depending on what kind, if you get the mammoth sunflowers, I like the autumn ones, the like orange, red, yellow sunflowers. But once you get a couple of sunflowers to grow, you get some confidence, and then you try for some more. Magnum will eat them. I don't know who Magnum is. The chickens eat the food scraps, the leftovers. It's almost free to feed them. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. That is good information, Dolly. Dolly, you're going to have to start a YouTube channel where you feature your chickens. There's a girl on YouTube who does that. She's in my feed all the time. It's hilarious. It's cool to see. My pit bull. Oh, yes. But you never know. Your pit bull Magnum could become friends with the chicken, and that would be another great YouTube channel. Magnum the pit bull and his chicken friends. That sounds like a British claymation cartoon. Anyways, I gotta wrap this one up. Please, Baggy, hit subscribe if you haven't. I go live every weekday, Monday through Friday. I give you my word that I go live every weekday. I can't give you my word on what time, so I ask people to hit the notification bell. That's why you see people like Dolly, Terry Charms, Blah, War Daddy, all these people that have joined the family, joined the community. They show up, they pop into the chat because they've hit the notification bell. Because it's much more fun going live with people to converse with. So if you could hit that notification bell if you hit subscribe. And for everybody who has subscribed, we've gained a ton of subscribers in the past month. Thank you so much, because I love doing this. This is really fun, and especially when we get some conversation going. And plus, the other cool thing is, like, we're going to catch up to Philly DeFranco. Yes, I know he has 7 million subscribers, and we're almost at 1,500. But we're going to get there. The snowball effect is starting to happen. And once we catch up, we're going to start calling out Philly DeFranco and tell him he needs to eat some food. You already did? Awesome. Thank you so much, Maggie. I really appreciate that. Salute to you. A lot of respect. A lot of love. I hope you guys have a great, amazing, long weekend. I will be back on Monday. I don't take holidays off. I just hit the like. I don't have mods. If you want to be a mod and you show up again on Monday or if you show up a couple more times next week, like Blah just asked to be a mod. I was Googling it, or I was YouTubing it. I need to have the person's link to the channel, and I need to do it on a computer, so I can't do it on my phone. But if you show up, if you jump in the chat a couple times next week, I'll make you a mod as well. And I'll tell you what to do then. And our city food bank provides better food in the more affluent area. Yeah, Dolly, that's what I was talking about earlier. That when I lived in San Diego, I would drive 20 minutes to a richer part of town, and their stores, their grocery stores, had better food, better selection, more diverse selection, healthier foods. It was just incredible. And I would just do the drive because the food shopping was so much better. Cost more, but much healthier. And big shout out to Magnum. Oh, my dog's not down here. Your dog might try to eat my dog. My dog's a very little dog, but she is adorable, so she might win Magnum over. She'll be featured next week on the... Went to a food side road today. What's a food side road? a food side road or food side road thing. He's 95 pounds. My goodness. My dog's like 25. All right. I got to get out of here. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Good to see you, Dolly. Good to see you, Maggie. Peace.